Hey, I'm Jim Wright with the Longhorn Historical Society, and I'm looking for gold again. Nah, not the yellow rock that is in my hand, not the black gold known as oil, but white gold. I found it, tons of it, in my hand and in the field behind me. I'm here near a cotton farm in Bostwick, Georgia. And for Georgia on Location today, we are going to learn about how two technological developments, the cotton gin and railroad, impacted Georgia's growth and profoundly changed the lives of many Georgians for many years to come. So grab a seat and enjoy this tale about the cotton gin and railroad. Here we go. The development of the cotton gin transformed the production of cotton into an economic windfall for the state, however, at an immense human cost in the form of slavery. Aiding in the transport of raw cotton to the ports on the coast were the railroads that crisscrossed the state. These two developments would change Georgia forever. They would also have an impact on Native Americans in Georgia, or American Indians, because as Georgians moved westward to plant cotton and build the railroads, this forced the American Indians off of their land. The cotton gin's impact on Georgia's economic and population growth came with a terrible cost: the expansion of slavery and the removal of the Muskogee Creek and Cherokee Indians. According to historical tradition, the idea for the cotton gin was conceived by Eli Whitney, a northerner who had moved to Georgia in 1793. During this time period, tobacco, which at the time was one of Georgia's most important crops, was destroying the soil. As an alternative to tobacco, the state was looking for ways to make growing cotton a more profitable crop. Until the development of the cotton gin, short for engine, seeds in the cotton lint had to be removed by hand. This tedious process was time-consuming, and most farmers could not clean more than a pound of cotton a day. Eli Whitney developed a machine that was capable of removing the seeds from up to 50 pounds of cotton a day. Due to the machine's efficiency, the growth of cotton became more profitable in Georgia and the rest of the South. This led to westward expansion as farmers sought land capable of producing the crop. This would put pressure on the native populations who lived on the land and eventually led to removal. With the focus on growing cotton due to its profitability, the South became a dominant force in producing much of the world's cotton by the end of the 19th century. Some positives were that the gin expanded the Southern economy tremendously, and in turn, the Northern textiles grew with all this cotton being grown. 2. This led to massive industrial growth of the country, which made lives easier. Nevertheless, there were two negatives concerning the invention of the cotton gin. First, it led to the South becoming overly dependent on one crop. This dependence on cotton was true of the South before and after the Civil War. In fact, it took the devastating effects of the boll weevil in the early 1900s to encourage diversification of Southern agricultural production. Second, and more importantly, due to the cotton gin's effectiveness, slavery increased in Georgia and throughout the South. Due to cotton's profitability, more slaves were needed in this production. This led to the South's support of slavery and defense of the institution of it.
The railroad was another technological advancement that had a major impact on the state of Georgia. Many Georgia cities and towns were created due to the railroad, including Atlanta. When the railroad came to Georgia in 1832, transportation was limited to muddy dirt roads and waterway travel. Both of these methods were not consistently reliable, slow, and cumbersome. Roads could be unpassable if a lot of rain had come through. Water travel, especially the interior rivers above the fall line, could be difficult to navigate because rivers were shallow and rocky, and at certain times of the year wouldn't have enough water to support travel. This newfound speed and efficiency had a profound positive effect on commerce, communication, and mobility. A trip of 90 miles from Athens, Georgia to Augusta took roughly a week by horse and buggy, but by railroad it took only 3 hours. As a result, the economy grew and Georgia would have a long and successful history as a railroad hub of the South. The negative impact on the railroad is pollution from steam locomotives, accidents early in its history, and speeding up of westward expansion, which would remove American Indians from their ancestral land. Overall, the impact of these inventions have been positive to the economic and population growth of the state. Cotton is one of Georgia's top crops to be grown, and the railroad plays a major role in transporting the goods and services domestically and internationally. This is Jim Wright with Georgia on Location. Have a great day. See y'all soon.